So I had to log into my YouTube channel because it's been so long since I set it up to know what the channel name was. So I'm Marcus Joyce of Wi-Fi Engineering, and this is Behind the Rack. Hey, so you just bought your first Edgerouter and you take it out of the box. The firmware is going to be really out of date. It's going to be a classic firmware. So the first thing you want to do is you're going to go to ui.com/download and get the latest firmware for your device. After that, I'm going to show you here now how to upload that firmware to your device. From experience, uploading by web interface doesn't work. The only way to do this quickly and efficiently is to do it with an FTP program like FileZilla or WinSCP, or if you're a Linux guy or an Apple user, you can use SFTP as well. They work equally as well. So here we have our desktop here, and the first thing we need to do is we need to change the IP address of our computer. And we're going to change our IP address to something like this. So this is all default, as usually like 192.168.1.1. Other UI equipment's usually 1.20 or something weird, but this one should be 1.1. So hopefully I'm right, and this will be just like this. And here we are. So default login is UBNT and UBNT. When you first set up one of these, there'll be a legal disclaimer. You just simply click the box and continue onwards. In this particular instance, I've already updated the firmware on this device, so we're going to do this again, and I'll show you what to do here. So we go to FileZilla, type in this 192.168.1.1, UBNT, and port is 22. Update cached key. You're going to get tired doing that, trust me. Move this over. Next thing is to rename this. And we're going to go Control-A, Control-C to copy that name into clipboard. And we're going to go straight into putty. UBNT, add system image, and we are going to wait while it finishes uploading. Now it's really important to update your firmware because it's incredible to think that the first ones that were out there, they didn't have advanced features like what's it called, traffic type detection, and shows like what types of traffic are traveling through your connection. And it's kind of cool to think that a device that was bought 4 or 5 years ago now has all these features. That's really cool without paying any money. So if you've had one, you bought one like 5-6 years ago, pull it out of the box, upload the latest firmware, and you get all this new features. And I think that's kind of cool, not having to pay continuous licensing fees and continuously maintaining a product like you would with some of the other bigger vendors, which can get very expensive for smaller companies that don't really like to set it and forget it, shall we say. So we're just waiting for this device to boot so we can ping it. Now while it's rebooting, I doubt it's there, but we'll see now. It'll take a second or two to reboot. If I can SSH into it, it's done, but I doubt it. No, can't be that fast. Apparently so. No, that's my Wi-Fi device. Don't update your... Yeah, this gets dangerous when all your devices are 192.168.1.1. So let's see if we go here. Just take off our Wi-Fi for a second. Okay, now we have a proper ping. Good time to reflect on things. Then you get a cup of coffee. It doesn't take that long, thankfully. Things I like to do is I don't like to change the IP address in port 1 because unless it's conflicting with another subnet on your network, of course. I like to leave it default, so the next time somebody comes along, they plug into that port, they know it's default. Can't always remember everything up here, right? Unless you join it to something like UNMS, which is a really great management tool for managing devices. So restart session, yes, UBNT and UBNT, and we're in. You can also do add system boot image. Do you want to replace the old version? Yes. This is just like basic maintenance when you get one of these things, just to do this. As I say, the interface won't really work with a really old firmware in like newer browsers like Chrome, kind of to be expected because the default firmware is really classic. Yeah. Upgrade. Boot completed. Nah, we're not going to reboot because we don't. Yeah, we might actually do the reboot. I'm not sure if it will. Where it will store all of its files. There's no point configuring it without being absolutely sure, is it? 2.168.1.1-T. Again, we're just waiting for it to reboot. It won't take long. Another time to reflect. We're going to update our settings here. We're just going to, instead of worrying about DHCP, we don't need DHCP to make this work, Dynamic Host Control Protocol. We're just going to specify the gateway ourselves. We know that the router is 1.1. And we're going to put in Cloudflare, Google, OpenDNS, whatever you can remember. Who cares? It's all the same. And that's the Cloudflare DNS, so we should be able to do some stuff here now in a second. Come on, boot up, boot up. Yeah, baby. I really shouldn't sing, should I? Oh, there we go. Something interesting there happening. Ooh, look at that, the ping started. Okay, you can go away now, thank you. And we're gonna go to there. Advanced, proceed. You have to remember, well, these are like computers, so when it's booting up, it has to start like the HTTP web interface. It has to start all the different services. It's basically a Linux OS with what's it called, Viata OS on top of it, which is a like router type thing. No, we're not going to bother with the protocol because most of my stuff is all behind already pre-natted stuff, so you're not going to really need any kind of intrusion protection because NAT's going to prevent it coming through. Unless you've got port forwarding and stuff like that, well then you want to, you know, maybe invest in a web application firewall or something like that. So here we have a, this looks correct. Is this by DHCP? Actions config. Yeah, so I plugged in the my WAN cable, my wide area network in to that. So here's our ping. Can we ping NS lookup? Okay, so we can't ping. So basically what does this mean? This means that the router's broken. No, I'm joking. What it actually means is that the router is routing. And what it's routing is routing the IP address I set on my laptop. It is trying to route my IP 1.5 over to the next subnet 200. This one down here, 200.1/24. And that router doesn't know, or no, it doesn't know where that 1.1 is, or it may know, or it may think that this 1.1 is somewhere else. So what we do here is we need to set up a NAT. And what will basically happen is the NAT will make this, when we try to connect outwards, it will make this our IP address. So go here, go here, go. So we're going to firewall NAT, and then we're going to the NAT section. Add a source NAT. So we're going to go outbound NAT. We're going to specify ETH1 because that's where the WAN cable is plugged into. Use masquerade, and you can just hit save at this point and everything else will be taken care of. So we have a count here, and hopefully we'll be able to ping 1.1 now. And here we are. 1.1 now works. Another nice thing as well, if you go to traffic analysis and you enable the DPI, deep packet inspection. Now deep packet inspection is questionable, shall we say. It does work, and it's quite good. So we can see here very quickly that we got traffic a lot, and we can see it here. So we can see that the client is going at receiving at 7.62 megabits, and the amount of bytes they received. Now this is RX byte 11 megabytes, and this is bits. Just remember that, you know, there's eight times the difference. Now we see our TX rate. Now we can see there's some basic stuff here. Like if I open up UI.com, will it actually recognize UI.com traffic? No, it's still under other. I think a lot of stuff will. What's happened to my display here? So yeah, a lot of traffic is just classified under other. I don't know if this is because of the way stuff is going with SNI 3 and other various technologies to prevent people snooping. Not that anybody would ever abuse that privilege, right? Well, basically that's the start of your configuration of your router, of updating the firmware, configuring your laptop to connect to your router. So the steps is that you need to set a static IP on your laptop. Then you need to use a FTP program to copy that firmware file from your laptop to the router, and then go to the command line interface and do like add system image and then the file name, and it will automatically take care of it, reboot it, do the same for the boot image, reboot it, and then you get to play with your new toy. Then enable DPI if you want it, very nice feature. You need a bit more traffic than just me setting up a router here. It'll make more sense like as time goes by, when you have like a couple hours work with maybe 5-10 clients. It'll make more sense. There might be a performance hit on it, so if you're using like 1,000 meg connection and you're using one of the Edgerouter Lite or the what am I here, an Edgerouter Pro PoE, you might notice some performance degradation. Obviously, for the price of these devices, it's expected. You can obviously buy something more expensive like an Edgerouter Pro 8 or the 6-port one, which I really like, but I don't have one of those handy because they don't store like $500 routers on my desk. The ones that cost like $100 are like disposable rubber bands almost by comparison. So thanks for watching, and I hope you enjoyed me rambling on a wee bit after the firmware update. But yeah, thanks very much for watching.